Camera's biased this way. Say something.
Hello.
Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here, and I'm with my sister today. And so we watched that video that I did last night of that football player Leno, who decided that, so basically this is what happened. I'm doing a follow-up because there's some things that I picked up on that I didn't realize when I watched the video last night, and now that I've had some time to pontificate on it. And also that time that I was in Miami, my sister came down to visit me, and she reminded me of some stories that we were telling, or that she reminded me of some stories that had taken place while we were in Miami. So I was like, okay, you want to do the video with me? So she was like, sure. So today we're just going to be we're going to be doing a follow-up on that. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Hello. And so one of the things that I kind of picked up on when I watched the video again, and I was reading the woman's tweets again, the part where she was talking about the mixed babies, how cute mixed babies are. And I was like, wow, so the babies are cute once they're no longer as black as they were before. Once they're not, because she even mentioned at one point that there was a guy that was burnt toast black. And I'm like, okay, so black people are fine as long as they're not too black, not too burnt toast black. And the babies are cute as long as they're not black babies, or too dark black babies. And some of the people who were commenting were like, yeah, they love these mixed babies until the mixed babies come out too dark or their hair is not curly or silky enough. And then that's when the problems start to become evoked. So so that was one of the main things that I just wanted to come back out and talk about. And also the fact that these people, I don't know, you know what? I wanted some other people's points of view on it, because there were people who were saying that they felt that the woman liked black men but didn't like black women. There were also people who were saying that, what else? Oh, you're just quiet.
The woman didn't like herself either.
What made you say that?
You know something? I seen this before. It's like sometimes you get these people that have this like orphan mentality, and they sometimes meet up with each other. They
What do
sometimes
you mean, an orphan,
like orphan, like
like with no parents?
just orphaned with no place.
Oh, okay, kind of like a stateless person.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because some
okay.
of the tweets that I was just reading some of the tweets, and this is what I'm saying. Like sometimes people just be so awe.
Hey, Onika. Hey, Nikki. Welcome. You know what? I guess I will say, oh, it looks like the camera's frozen.
Oh.
What is happening? But the thing is still going. I did restart it so that we could get a fresh connection, but it looks like it's frozen. We might have to do it again.
Oh.
So people are writing, but there's no movement on the camera. Yeah, they're saying it's frozen.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna have to start again. Apparently, YouTube may not have liked our title. All right, so you know what? We're gonna. Oh, it's unfrozen now.
Oh,
It
yeah.
unfroze. Okay. So here we are. Let us know if there's any issues with the audio or the video or anything. Like it seems slow, right? You see that?
It's a little delayed.
Okay, so they can hear us great, but there's just like some issues that's going on with the video, but we're back. All right. So you know what? And I'll say, you know what? I'll agree with you on that. Because because even the way that she was attempting to speak in African American vernacular, attempting to speak Ebonics, feeling as if she has full reign of using the N-word without reprise. And so it was like, it's those things. And then also, because you know what? Because somebody talked about Serena Williams inside of the comments on that video. They were like, I want to hear you talk about Serena Williams because when she married that guy, all I heard was applause. And I'm like, well, Serena Williams married a billionaire. And I was like, can you show us anywhere where this guy was ever one-on-one using the N-word with abandon, talking about dark, crisp women, talking about, you know what it says about Black women's vaginas, or the myth is true about Black women. And so I'm like, Serena Williams leveled up. She married a billionaire. She didn't marry a wigger. I think that that's a nice way of putting it. But she didn't marry a man who fetishized mixed babies, or who fetishized Black vagina. And that part actually made me feel really sad for this dude, Leno, who's marrying this woman, because he's going to marry her. Hey, Diva. Hey, Avona. Hey, everybody. Me and my sister are making this video today. And so we were talking about Serena Williams, and how one person was commenting about how everybody applauded Serena. And I'm like, Serena leveled up to a billionaire. Who did this man marry? This man married or is marrying a woman who has mentioned her penchant and fetishization of Black men and their penises, plus quote unquote mixed babies. So I'm like, I think what you're saying about her and her statelessness is right. I think that there's a part of lostness that exists in her, so that she's trying to induct herself into the Black experience. Ugh. Ugh. And then I told a story about my associate who is constantly trying to flirt with me, talking about how much he loves Black women, and all this, that, and the other, but yet his resources are going into a home headed by a white woman. His now mixed children will receive the financial legacy. His mixed children will receive what it is that he's worked for, and pass that forward back to the white part of the family, or wherever. And then you reminded me of this story in Miami when we were, because listen, when we were there in Miami, like Miami, it was an amazing place to be. A lot of football players had descended upon Miami. And so there were a lot of football players, a lot of parties with football players. Go ahead and tell the story.
Oh my goodness. Yes. After our night, just hanging out at the club, one of the football players, as we're just speaking and talking, here he goes as he's propositioning, but then also wants to let us know that he is married, and he informed us that he's married to a white woman. So I was just so confused on what, why? You understand? Why are you sitting up here trying to proposition women if you already are married, for one, and then you're already married to a white woman? That's something.
You know why? You know why? Listen, I'm sorry, but being Black is spicy. There's something so beautiful about the Black experience. There's something wonderful. Look all of this. Look,
No,
this here.
Lord have mercy.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have to act like that. I don't have to behave that way. But there's something beautiful about being Black. There's something, you know what, okay. I want to ask you all this. Out of all of the pop culture dances, all of the modern dances that you've ever seen, I came around in the 80s to become aware of dancing in the 80s. What dance has there ever in your lifetime, any pop dance that has ever been invented by a Caucasian person, ever? Ever. I'm going to pose this to you all in the audience. Have you ever known of a dance ever invented by a white person that became hot? If anything, what it is that we see is white people talking about, oh, this is called the surfer. I invented this. We're surfing. And it's like, no.
He said the swim.
and from what it is that we know, from what it is that we know about Caucasian behavior or caucasity in this country, do you believe that Caucasians invented the swim or the twist? You think Caucasians invented the twist? You don't know what the twist is?
I know.
Oh, okay. So from what it is that I know, listen. So only to indirectly tell you he will respect you to a degree, whatever that means. I don't even know what is that person talking about. But yeah, so from what it is that I see, like there's just something just so creative about Black people. We just have this energy. And you were talking about the
Oh,
cookouts. Oh, what were
oh
you about to
yes.
say?
No, I was gonna say, and I was gonna say, no. That's exactly the man was acting like a fiend. Like that's what. Did you remember? That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't remember all of the
All of it. This is
stories.
what I'm saying. You
He was
know,
acting like a fiend. What do you
he
mean?
was acting like a fiend.
Fiending for some pink, some pink, some
Yeah,
brown and pink.
yeah. So that's that situation where I was just very, he kind of seemed like we were supposed to feel sympathy for him, because he was like, he done he had won the Super Bowl back in the early '90s, and he out on the town now trying to look for some booty.
But oh yeah, of course, because you see the booty. The booty is right. The booty look nice. The booty. And now with surgery and all of these other things invented, they can now kind of toe the line.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yes, yes.
So Super Vanya saying we have mad flair. Move over some because you're all the way on that side of the thing. All right, there. We're almost in the middle, but yeah. So there's a flair about us. There's an energy. There's a je ne sais quoi. This is why this woman is attempting to speak in the vernacular. This is why she's tried to enmesh herself.
And I was gonna say, or when I think of blackness, black love, and everything, I just think of that India Irie song. Do you remember that song, Black Skin? I
Oh
don't know where
yeah.
yours end and mine's
Oh yes,
begin.
honey.
It's like, come on now.
Exactly, exactly. When I was in Tokyo, that song came out, and that song saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. And the craziest part is I got a chance to meet India Irie, and I didn't know that it was her.
That sang that song.
No, I didn't know the person I was talking to was India Irie. Somebody asked me
Oh,
what did I think of her and the song. Why do people do that to you? You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You're right there in front of the star, and they're like, "What do you think of such and such?" And thank goodness I loved her song because I remember in the '90s I met this woman. This was in the Queen Latifah days. I forget her name. It was like Harmony or something was her name. And I was like in the dressing room at Strawberries, and they asked me what I thought of her. And I didn't have nothing nice to say. Well, I just
Uh,
wasn't feeling her. But
yeah.
nonetheless, so yes, Brown Skin, that song saved me. And when I met India Irie and didn't know I was talking to her, I spoke about how that song just really invigorated me. There's something
Mm.
beautiful in being Black. And so the cookout you were saying, what were you saying about the cookout?
I'm just mentioning, like, because this one guy he was just informing me that there's a lot of times that when you date outside your race that you are opening up your family, but
Mm-hmm.
their family's not as open,
Oh.
and it's like they're coming to your cookouts, they're part of all the traditions and all of this stuff, so they're getting enriched by your culture, but it's like on the opposite side, what are they bringing to the table with their culture? A lot of times he was just telling me a lot of times it's nothing because the family is distant or,
Oh, wow. You know
mm,
what? You know what? This just dawned on me. This just dawned on. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
mm,
Because that is the difference right there. That is the difference. There's a communalism that exists in the Black community. The Sundays at Big Mama's house, the cookouts, well, we don't really go camping as Black people, but just the coming together, descending upon the house and playing
we do picnics
music,
though.
and we do, yeah,
We do picnics.
picnics, yes, going out and barbecuing,
Barbecues.
yes, and just there's a love that exists in being Black. And with me living out there in the canyons of California, there's a separateness. And in California, all of the neighborhoods are so separated that you just don't get the communicating. Uh, Leela is saying this is happening right now. I thought it was a recording. You two are so cute. You're cute, Leela. You're cute. There's more than 100 people on here.
No.
And she says, some Super Vanya is saying my niece was appalled because her white boyfriend didn't have any pics of her on FB, while she had many of him on hers. Well, 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 well. That does not sound okay.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what? Listen, and so like you were saying, so half of the family is just one, do they even accept you into the family? Are you just the rich N word? Or do they even, because like, do they want you at their gatherings? You know what I
Or
mean?
do they do the phony pretend?
Yeah, do they even have gatherings?
Gatherings, that's another thing, yeah.
Because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
So someone's saying big up. So big up to you too. So yes. So like, you know what? There's this flavor that exists with being black that you don't realize is not like that until you're in non-black areas. Like I was on a broadcast. I was on this girl's show this past week, and I was talking about how the elders were the ones who were really meant to raise the children. Like, we're supposed to have the best genetic children that we can. The elders are supposed to raise them in small community. And people were like, what? But that's really the way that it's supposed to be. Like, young people were not meant, while you're young and fertile, you're supposed to be having children. The best children, the strongest, the brightest, the smartest. And
Mm-hmm.
you're not meant to be saddled down with children. Like, the people who are established and have the money and the patience
Mm-hmm.
and the love, like you know, grandparents love is much different than parents love, and
Mm-hmm.
they're now at a place in their lives where they're settled and able to impart that wisdom. Those are the people who were supposed to be raising children. However, we are living in a westernized way of doing things. You know, I'll say this. In 2015, I spent 3 months in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like a soccer game that was on. These people were really, really poor. I was in Puerto Vallarta, which is a richer area, but these people lived inside of a house that it had like a zinc roof, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it had all of the walls up, right? But that mother was out there rolling her tortillas and cooking them on the thing. And they had a big gathering. They had all of the chairs and everything outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? What it is that they don't have in money, they have in family.
That's right.
And it's like, because this was the time that Trump was talking about their murderers, their rapists, and all this other stuff. And they were really offended by what it is that Trump said.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some of the people, when they heard what Trump said, were like embarrassed by other Mexicans. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, Mexicans, this is," and like the one of the family that I was the home that I was staying with the Airbnb, like the daughter was like, "Oh, look at that Mexican. He's so short and squat in his dark skin." And I was like, "You do
Mm-mm.
realize that I'm a person of color?" And I'm like, "You're Mexican too." And so even though she was like the Caucasian Mexican, because you know they're white Mexicans, even though she was like the Caucasian Mexican, I was like, I was like, you saying that to me is not getting you any points with me. I'm like, I'm American, but I'm a person of color. I was like, I'm black, and you're talking about that man's dark skin. I'm like, but
Mm-hmm.
what you fail to realize that Trump does, you're Mexican too. It's like, so we create these hierarchies where we're like, well, I'm better than you because I'm more like the white man. But then the white man is like, I'm better than you because I am the original white man. So it's like, rather than turning on one another, we can turn together. But my whole point in bringing that up was like, some of these people were embarrassed about being Mexican and embarrassed about being indigenous, etc. But I was like, look at the wealth that you have right here being close to family. Like, some
Mm-hmm.
of you may notice that my videos are different now that I'm here with my family. So it does something different to you to be amongst the love and the
Mm-hmm.
communion of family. And Cece said, I'm supposed to be asleep right now because I got to go to work tonight, but must watch your channel. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. We love you. Are we married? Or they're talking to someone else? I was about to say, this is my sister.
Oh, this is about
Oh, she was talking to
the
somebody.
topic. Oh no.
No, they were talking about somebody else. So,
Oh.
so it's like, when it comes to being black, there are some things that we don't have in this country.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many things that we do have. Like, the culture is just so beautiful. Like, it's like it's such a beautiful thing. And with us being Caribbean American, it adds an extra layer onto the richness of our connection to Africa. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
And even our connection, even here, in the abroad diaspora, like our
Yes, in the
yeah. Because I
diaspora.
heard one guy sit back and say, as a black man, he has to drive backwards, and I said,
Drive backwards.
I didn't get it, but I understood.
No, I don't get it either, and I don't understand.
You'll get
Drive backwards.
You'll get it.
Anybody out there getting it? Because by the time we get it, the broadcast may be over.
You'll get it.
Somebody asking if this is my blood sister. We don't look alike?
A little, right? A little bit.
Because there's a huge weight difference. You know? Because you have the slender... Why are you all huddled up like this?
You can see the cheekbones, though.
The high cheekbones. Yeah. You know what? I don't know why on the camera you look... Your complexion looks more brown than mine on the camera. But in real life, it's not more brown, is it?
It's not.
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Come over here near the light. You know what I think it is? It's the undertones.
Oh.
Because I have, what I think I have yellow undertones. Are yours red?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. Drive backwards. Who gets it? And maybe because you're wearing a black shirt. Let's see if the white shirt comes in. No, the white shirt darkens. And Tiffany saying, I can tell your sisters. First of all, we have the same exact voice. Okay. But we speak differently, but we have the same voice.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to cover up the camera and I'm going to see if you guys can tell who's talking. All right? I'm going to cover up the camera and then look. Okay. I want to do it. Look, nobody's getting, I drive backwards.
Oh.
They don't get it. Okay, listen.
They must not live in LA or New York. If you mess with the LAPD and the NYPD, then you understand what drive backwards mean.
It's some criminal stuff.
No, that just means that you have to look out for the cops because they always.
Oh.
You have to drive them backwards.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So you have to look in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so literal. I'm like, drive backwards. It's like running from the. Okay. I got it. All right. So Queen says she gets it, and Ari's saying twang. All right. So what we were saying is about the culture. Okay, you know what? Instead, why don't you guys close your eyes and then see if you can tell the difference between our voices? Because I can't even tell the difference on the phone sometimes. Like sometimes I think it's an echo. I'm like, hello, and say hello.
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 You're making fun. You're being fun. You're being funny. Because you're changing your voice. You're going lower and lower. Do it regular.
Hello.
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 Hello. Oh gosh. All right. So we were talking about black people. We were talking about black people. So yes, there is a wealth. So someone is saying Tanya's voice is a bit higher. That's because my sister was lowering her voice. Hello?
Hello.
All right. They want to know who's older. I don't believe people are still asking that. Mm-hmm. You know what? We're going to do a sister tag one day and we'll answer those questions. They're saying your voice is deeper than mine.
It is a bit deeper.
You think your voice is deeper?
Yeah, I would say so. Mm-hmm.
Deeper than mine? You think it's deeper?
Well, yes, it is a bit deeper.
Is it?
It's a bit deeper.
You think it's deeper than mine?
It's a bit deeper.
Is it? Okay. All right. So Shah is saying, LOL, Tanya, you have a unique voice. You guys don't sound the same at all. Your voice is so calm and soothing. So what you trying to say? My sister's voice ain't calm and soothing? That is so funny. I do have a kind of unique voice, but you know what it is that I think makes my voice deeper? I think it's not deeper. I think it's my mannerism that makes my voice more soothing because I have a calming energy. You know what I mean? But we were talking about black people and the culture. Have we finished talking about the football player? And what else did you have to say about that? Because what is it that people were saying? We talked about Serena and how Serena leveled up, and she wasn't.
You would say that
Serena leveled up? You don't think Serena leveled up?
I might not have no melanin. Melanin is the highest thing on the market, more than gold. Her man not have no melanin. How you level up with no melanin? I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I can see that. I can see I'm talking about financially. Because,
Oh,
okay, because no, that person was, listen, that person was talking about strictly the difference between not praising this guy for getting with this white woman calling black people the N-word
oh,
versus Serena Williams getting with a white man who's a billionaire. So no, genetically, yes, it's a when you get with recessive genes, when you get with recessive genes, that is a genetic leveling down. However, if you had to put both people on a scale in terms of leveling up, what has this woman achieved in her life besides an accumulation of black penis and her penchant for the N-word? What has she achieved? What do we know about this woman?
everybody's status is different, though.
What do you mean?
Everybody's status is different.
In terms
His
of?
standard of maybe having somebody on the Mile High Club with a lot of mileage might be something a little different. So everybody's different. You never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what just dawned on me? Yes. Maybe in his book, lessening his Negroid genes was or is leveling up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
maybe he's like, oh, I'm leveling up because now I have the white man's woman, or
Mm-hmm.
now I can have some of those quote unquote pretty mixed babies, because then you can lessen the Negroid DNA. And then, because in a society like ours, which is a white supremacist society, white genes are more coveted. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe he quote unquote leveled up in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And it should be coveted, I guess. I don't know, with the delicacy.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Delicacy.
The delicacy of what? Because delicacy could be a fine food.
De-
You know, like a southern delicacy.
No, I mean, just over the delicacy. Because listen, if you have to take more time to do or treat your skin before going out in the sun, that means your skin is more delicate. So,
Weak. Weak.
well, delicate, weak. Well, okay, a flower, a piece, tissue could
Oh.
be delicate too. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh. But delicate, see, the thing about it,
Delicate's not the right
no,
word.
delicacy is not the right word because delicacy is a reference to food. I think delicateness.
Delicateness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
delicateness may I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that I'm for sure about that. But see, the difference is when a thing is delicate, and yeah, so you
It's
know what,
looked
maybe
upon as delicate.
fragility,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the
Fragility. Yeah.
fragileness, because I often talk about the fragility, but then what's the difference between fragile and delicate? Because delicate, you know what, I guess they're both weak, but it's,
No, I think you know what? Delicate. It is a
yeah,
difference.
I think that there's a higher connotation to delicate than there is to fragile, because I think delicate means that I think there's a hierarchy, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that delicate is at the higher end of the hierarchy of something that's precious.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it's delicate.
Yes.
Like you have to treat it because it's
So
delicate. You have to treat
word
it
I wanted to use was
softly.
fragile.
Yes, but when
Mm.
something is fragile, it's at the height of not being sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fragile. So there's a
Mm.
fragility to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's interesting. So yes. So
And some people could be conditioned to want to protect that
yes, you
fragility.
know what?
Yeah.
As human beings, we have something genetically encoded inside of us
Mm.
that makes us want to protect things that are smaller than us. This is
Mm.
why babies are able to survive. This is why once you become a parent, like have you noticed that after you became a parent that you started being protective of other people's children as well?
Yeah.
So it's like, so there's something that just becomes, is like a switch that goes on. And so with men being 33% larger than us, there's a protect mechanism that exists inside of them, unless they have like some stuff going on in their head, so they have that protection mechanism to protect what's smaller. But what you're saying is that there's a fragileness
Makes me
that exists
delicate.
in the
Oh.
white woman
Yeah.
that will make a person want to protect the white woman more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If the conditioning is there, yeah, if the conditioning is there.
And so Amanda is saying Black women are generally not allowed to be as vulnerable and delicate as white women. And so Leela is saying, I was always protective. LOL, I got to be around people who aren't babes in the wood. And then DB is saying, melanin is powerful and they all want it. We missed a bunch of comments from people who were writing when we couldn't. Somebody asked if we're Jamaican. We are Caribbean American, but the island is not Jamaica. The island is Nevis, and the dialect from Nevis sounds very similar to the Jamaican patois. Sounds very similar. And somebody saying, my friend has sent money, shouldn't be an issue, and I kind of agree. Oh, somebody sent us some money? And somebody's saying something about white women can be the damsel in distress, but Black women are seen as the Amazon warrior. And so, so what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts? I wonder. So white women are seen as more delicate and more fragile, and even your body language hovering inward in on yourself. You're like, I'm a flower. I'm fragile. Rather than puffing out like the king cobra. Like the king cobra. So I think that there could be some truth to that. I think that there could be some truth. I feel like my nose is running. Talk to the camera. I have to get something for my nose to wipe it. I'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. She's coming right back. Oh, someone said they was reading about Nevis.
Okay. Sorry about that. I felt like my nose was running, and you never can tell what people can see on the camera, and then by then it's too late because you didn't spend half the broadcast with something shiny at the bottom of your nose. What did Amanda say? Like, he's my best friend, and I'm not itching to get married, but I do wonder if he thinks about it, and I doubt he does. Wait, somebody's in love with their best friend? I was reading about Nevis in Mel B's book. Her father and his family is from there. That's our cousin. They're talking about Scary Spice.
Oh yeah, Scary.
That's our cousin. So yes. So yeah, the secret is out, but shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. That's quiet is kept. All right. So Leela is saying, it's rare that folks try to move me outside of my feminine space, outside the Black community, but my preteen years and early teen years were pure hell. You have to elaborate on that because I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. But do you feel that you have the space to be a delicate flower?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've already built my own world, so.
You built your own world with your delicate flower in your world?
In my world. That's right.
Tell me more about this. Tell me, I want to hear more.
No, sometimes you just have to make your own space, and don't be confined to the prejudgments of other people. And
I mean, even your face doesn't look soft right now. Your brow is furrowed. You look distressed. You look distressed. You're like, I built my own world with your whole face looking like that up there. That don't sound like this world. It sounds like your defenses are up in this world.
That's why I said I had to build my own world. I had to build my own world. No.
You're silly. And so Substantia, hey Substantia, I don't know if I've seen you live before. If melanin is so strong and powerful, then why is it sought after to run into white areas to get rid of blackness? What? I don't understand that question. Why is it sought after? Type it again so we can understand.
I think they were saying that why people running to the white communities to get rid of their blackness.
Those people don't value the melanin until they get in there and they see that they're having string bean casserole instead of collard greens, and they're having boxed macaroni and cheese instead of the baked one. And when they see that their turkey has no season. Listen. So they're running to try to, because genetically we've been conditioned to, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys this, and some of you are going to think that I'm crazy, right? There's this couple on YouTube. it's like Asley is like the name of the show. I saw one episode the other day. It's this black woman and Asian man, and they have 7 children. He's Korean, and she went to go tell the mother-in-law. They went to tell the mother-in-law that the baby, that the woman was pregnant with baby number 7, right? And this, I thought she was a man, right? And I've been struggling with myself this morning, just thinking about why I thought she was a man. And I'm going to say this, and this may, okay, so somebody else has seen their channel. I don't know if she looks like this in every video, but in that video that I saw, when I first saw her on the screen, I thought she was a boy in his house. I didn't know that she was a woman. Her hair is short. I wish that I wish you could see her. You know what? You pull up your phone. What's the name of their channel? Somebody type the name of their channel so that my sister can pull it up so that she can see what the woman looks like. And so I've been struggling with this morning, like, why did I think she was a man? Why did I think that she was a man? Mazlee. It's Mazlee. Look that up. Mazlee. And it dawned on me this morning, and I was thinking about this before I made this video. I think Negroid features.
Spell it again.
Mazlee. Yes.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. So let's see.
Oh, I think I've seen them before.
Okay, so look. Okay, so when I first saw her, so this is the video that I saw, I think. Korean grandmother's reaction. So we're just looking at this real quick. So we're going to skip this ad. Can we skip the ad? Lord, these people about making their money. You can't even skip their ad. That's funny. Okay, so look, do you think that that's a woman? That first shot, did you know that that was a woman? From just that first shot, not even just looking at her face, but when her head was down.
You would think probably like a young boy.
Okay, so I thought it was a boy. So in that video, so when you guys get off of this, you can go take a look at that, right? So then I was asking myself, I was like, why? I'm like, why did I think that she was a man? Why did I think she was a man? And so it dawned on me, and I'm struggling with it. Somebody says they thought it was a boy too, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, maybe Negroid features just look more masculine. Because black men are allowed to have the dark skin, they're allowed to have the wide nose and still be considered masculine. I think there's something, the darker you are, the more masculine, the more manly, the more dangerous you seem. The lighter you are, the prettier, the more fairer, the more delicate you seem. So it's like the more, because like I was asking, because I asked people, please show me an image of a black woman who is thought of as conventionally beautiful by society, who has a definitively Negroid nose. And I couldn't think of one. And like all of the stars that we covet, the Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B and the Beyonce, like people like Beyonce is the most beautiful black woman. However, her features are very European.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, so someone is saying Kelly Price, but if you look at Kelly Price, her nose is more Asian. It looks more Indian. She doesn't have the
Kelly Price?
Yeah, Kelly Price. Go look. I had to look her up.
She had no surgery or no?
I don't know if she had nose surgery or not, but you know, a lot of people look up Kelly Price's pictures because her nose does not look definitively Negroid. And somebody saying, what's that logic? Is that why black men are choosing white wives while black women are lightening their features? Look, is Kelly...
She got a Negro nose.
Oh, yes, she okay. Do. So who was it that I was? Oh, it was Angie Stone I was looking at. Sorry. It was Angie Stone. Look at her nose. Angie Stone's nose.
You sure? Because I know them women, they got some black features. That's right.
Having black features, come look it up. Angie Stone. Because I looked up Angie Stone. And so Dipped and Ingrid are saying, are they truly more masculine or have we just...
Okay,
so you see her nose is more Indian. Like it's more narrow. So Kelly Price, I'll have to take a look at her later, but no, her nose does look Negroid. So is it that they're truly more masculine or have we just been a society that has... That's what I'm saying. No. So Rihanna doesn't have a white girl nose, but fine features. No, Rihanna's nose is... Rihanna's nose, because somebody said Rihanna, and I looked at Rihanna's nose. Rihanna's nose is not wide, but then you also have to take into account Rihanna's skin is light skin and she has green eyes. Her skin is very light, and I don't like the word fine to describe those features. I don't like it. But because it goes along the, like, people talking about, when they talk about black features, what do they say? Coarse hair,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to fine features. Why are my features not fine? You
That
know what I'm
her.
saying? Why is that
Mm-hmm.
girl's features? Why does she look like a boy? And so I think that we've been conditioned. And so this is why there's this scale. There's this scale. The closer you are to, this is why I believe, and I think we're coming upon the crux of what's going on. I believe that blackness, Negroidness, I believe that Negroidness is more associated with power, with masculinity, with dominance,
Mm-hmm.
with all of those things, so that the darker you are, the more feared you are. And then there's a scale that the lighter you are, the less fear people will fear you, the more fine you are, the more fine your features are, etc. And so traveling and saying black men are trying to wipe themselves out. And then Naomi Campbell, you know,
Oh yeah.
Naomi Campbell, she's had so many nose jobs and so much surgery. There's, so it's for sure conditioning. So yes,
I for
when,
sure don't like nose jobs, man.
no, but
I don't
when
like
people
nose
do get
jobs.
nose jobs, they get their nose jobs to smallen their
Yeah,
nose.
nobody ever get a nose job and widen it up and make it look
They're
like a
trying
full
to, they
nose.
claim that there's the surgery out there to do that now. So India
Mm.
Irie is not considered conventionally beautiful. Let's just keep it real. And I've met her in real life. She's beautiful in an eclectic way. And I think that this is what hurts us so much as black women, because our features are the female counterpart of black men, but our blackness in this country has been so skewed and so bastardized, so perverted, that blackness is strong and forceful and powerful, so that the counterpart for our black men, which is us, is not coveted. That
Mm-hmm.
they covet
And not
the,
seen as delicate.
it not seen as beautiful to the
Mm-hmm.
people who are supposed to love those features.
Yeah.
Like as a black, like, okay, for example, you guys saw over the past week that I had on that long black wig, etc. And that's a certain look that has a certain appeal to us. So you were talking earlier
Mm-hmm.
about basketball, about these sports stars having a wanting to show off their partner, to be like, oh, look, I made it,
Mm-hmm.
look, I leveled up with these particular features, right?
The trophy wife thing.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And so it's like, when you get to a certain level of fame and you want to show off what it is that you've gotten, and you try to get the best that you can, you get the quote unquote best according to the white men's standard.
Mm-hmm.
And then also they like their women, because, like, you remember when we used to hang out in Miami and we used to
Mm-hmm.
go out to these places in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the type of black women that these men are getting, they're not getting black women who have the 4C hair. They're not getting black women who have the nappy hair. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? That's not considered high class. That's not considered, it's just that it doesn't have the same appeal as the weave, as the hair that flows down your back. And then there are different degrees to it, so that there's a hierarchy of hair, so that beautiful hair like yours is at the bottom, and the more mixed you are, the more acceptable your African hair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's saying, Miss J is saying, I wonder if they want to impress other black men or just white men. So someone is saying Issa Rae. Issa Rae, from what I remember, she has an angled nose. And if you all notice, when Issa Rae, when it was time for her to get her Hollywood show, Issa Rae dropped about 50, 60 pounds. Do you remember that? Do you know who Issa Rae is from Insecure? And she had the nerdy black girl series on YouTube. But when it was time to get in front of that white man's camera, Issa Rae dropped those pounds off her behind. I'm telling you that much. But I don't remember what. Look up Issa Rae and let's see what her features look like. But is she considered conventionally beautiful? Because I hear black men attacking her looks all the time, talking about Issa Rae is not cute. And I'm like, I think Issa Rae is pretty, but this is the thing. This is the thing. And so this was my whole point of saying all of that. So we have an eclectic beauty, like the feet, like negroid features.
Oh, she's
So Issa Rae,
cute.
yeah, but is her nose negroid? Is that a negroid nose? She doesn't even have nostrils.
I consider that a Negroid nose because Negroid noses some. Look at Dad's nose.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. Listen to what it is that I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm talking about features that cannot be mistaken as another race. If they whiten that nose that Issa Rae has, if they whiten that nose, would you know that that nose definitively belongs to a black person? No, you cannot tell me
No.
that.
Yeah, no.
I'm talking about like that girl from that video from this girl right here. This girl from Maz Lee.
Yeah,
You
but
cannot mistake her features as being anything other.
I was
What?
about to say, where they come down to it, cause look, her man there got same wide nose.
Right. But listen, but Asian people, I did a video over this. I did a video about this. I didn't show you. Did you see the video where Asian guy got his hair turned into an afro
Oh
and
my
he looks so
goodness.
much better? Did you see that video? You saw it. Okay.
It was real weird.
Right, and there was something inside of you that once his hair looked very African, all of a sudden you were like, he kind of looks kind of good, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys who saw that video that I did, I was like a little something kind of tilted inside. I was like, However, however, that's a natural response as a black woman that I have to seeing a man with negroid features. But if our counterparts, if our black men see our features more negroid, and instead of feeling that little thing on the inside, like, if they're like, and I think that's part of the problem because the men who share our genetics, if they don't consider us as beautiful as the women who are the quote unquote standard of beauty, then who will? You know, Asian men do share a bit of our features. And so I'm happy that I came across her videos. And so Amal is saying she very much looks like Senegalese and her dad is from there. I've seen many Senegalese people in France with thin nose and lips. Okay. And Senegal is in West Africa, right? I believe it's like on the Horn, right around there, up at the left. For me, black men are trying to impress white men. They want to be at their level by marrying white. And so Super Vonnie is saying, I was with a guy who said he wanted to get with a white woman to jade the white man. Yeah, exactly. This is why. And so
That's
Jay.
not to, yeah. I was
JT
about
is
to
saying,
say,
I seen that video and the mother-in-law wasn't happy that the wife is pregnant again, but the wife already had 3 kids with a white husband. The Asian husband is her, wait, the Asian husband is her new, they have 3 plus, wait a minute. What? 3 of those whoa. I didn't know that. That was the first video I'd seen of this. There's almost 200 people on the broadcast.
wow.
So yeah, so that's my whole point. If the people who share your DNA and who look like you don't appreciate your negroid features. Cause like I remember years ago, I used to go to the rants and raves board. Remember back in the days when we all used to go to MySpace topics and the rants and raves board on Craigslist, and we used to have our arguments on online, right? There were people who were like, oh, the black woman is big and fat, that's why nobody likes them. They're big and fat, that's why black men don't want them, right? And this woman, she broke it down beautifully in this message board. She was like, look, if you look at Mexican men, she was like, their women are shaped like refrigerators, like little boxes, and those men still love them the same because that's a part of their DNA, that's a part of their genetic coding, and their men love them. right? If our men don't love how we are genetically disposed to be, so yeah, so they like the bumper, they like the bottom, but they like it when it's on Kim Kardashian, they like it when it's on lighter skin, they like it when it's, you know what I'm saying? So Harry Belafonte said that in his autobiography, he got with white women because white men were always telling him that he couldn't have. So Harry's attitude was, but I got your woman. And so,
And there's a lot of black men that feel like that, but
yeah, but at the end of the day, they're leaving a black woman familyless,
yeah, and
fatherless.
I don't even want to say it, but not only that, but why impress the white man
Exactly.
with his woman when you know they're into cuckold?
Cuckold? You mean
Hello,
cuckolding?
cuckold. No, but that's what they're into. So why you want to impress them with their woman? And you know that.
Listen,
Listen, I'm
listen,
sorry.
listen,
Sorry.
listen. No, listen to what I'm saying. When I was in Cali and I was living in my car and I decided to start sleeping in a tent, I rented some spaces on some trailer parks. Listen, there's some stuff going on out there. There's some nastiness out there that we don't want to acknowledge.
See no evil, hear
Listen.
no evil. See no evil.
Listen, there's some nastiness out there we don't want to
Yeah,
acknowledge.
that's what
The
I'm
thing is
saying.
that deep inside of our hearts, we know that there's some disgustingness that exists out there,
Yeah.
but we're in denial. Like I said in last night's video, take the leaves out your hair, wipe the mud off your knees, take a shower, and born anew, refreshed.
Yeah.
Refreshed.
Yeah.
Remember
Wait a second.
what?
I was about to say, who? I'm sorry.
What?
I just feel so bad. You know the woman that said was up there doing dogs and stuff. Remember with the YouTube video, and she was like, "Oh, you can't get pregnant by a dog. It's the best thing." Yeah, she was trying to do what do you call bestiality porn? You know they named it. They got named for that stuff. You know it's called raping animals, but they got named bestiality porn, and she couldn't get into it. And you know what? She get into interracial porn. I said, Lord of mercy. That's a lot of
Oh,
mercy.
no, 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 no.
Lord of mercy.
So she couldn't get into bestiality porn, but she was able to get into black man porn. The next level up from a dog.
It's too disgusting. I was like, oh my goodness. She went to go find herself another job because she lost her job after she made that video. You didn't hear that? She was
And
working
black
at
men were
Victoria's Secret.
all too happy to go dive inside of her punani that done been with dog.
That's horrible. Mm-mm.
Lord have mercy. How you made me lose my whole train of thought on that one.
I'm sorry. I wish I didn't have to know about it. That's why I say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. I don't want to know about none of that.
Lord, I just please somebody help me. What was I saying? There's more than 10 people on the broadcast.
She gross. That's right.
Oh God! Somebody remind me what I was saying before I did. God, that threw me off.
I'm sorry.
I can't recoup after that.
I'm sorry.
I don't. So look, we got 5 more minutes on the broadcast before we get out of here. But what was I? God, that just. But you. Oh God!
Sorry.
I don't remember what I was saying now. Lost her job. She should have been prosecuted. Absolutely. Ew.
Thank you.
Okay. So, and men date who they can control or have the most benefits with. Athletes are bombarded by white women looking for. I remember I said something about being born anew, and I was talking about, but listen. So, we were talking about cuckolding. And they don't see what. Oh, so I was saying that I was on these trailer parks, and there's, you know what, and that's the thing. So we worship white people in this country. So thank you for reminding me about what we were talking about. We worship white people in this country, but when you peel back the curtains on what's really going on, we know in our hearts that the grass is not greener. The grass is not greener. She said look like refrigerators. No, I did not say that they look like refrigerators. I said that a person in one of the rant and rave board said that. And someone's asking if I'm in LA. You got to keep up with my videos. You know I'm not in Los Angeles right now. You see my beautiful trailer with the pink and gold or all of that? So no. So I'm in New York City right now and I'm having an event December 22nd. So I was saying that their men love them with the shape that is genetic, that they're genetically predisposed to. And so, if our counterparts don't love us with the genetics that we are predisposed to, then that's, I think, it becomes problematic because so many of them are attempting to impress the white man, to genetically level up by getting with recessive genes, and then worshiping white people, but they're just being a some stuff going on behind the scenes because people act like only black people are poor. But no, there's a lot of poorness that exists out there. And September, hey September. And September is spelling my name Tanya. Hi Tanya, I'm not a crazy person. You can. And then her comment was cut off. And Sean is saying exactly Traveling Diva. I missed what Traveling Diva said. All right. So listen, so we're going to be getting out of here in 5 more minutes. How are we going to, in September is saying, come stay with me. Come stay with you where? In New York, LA? Where am I staying at? There's 220 people on the broadcast. Isn't that something? Hi, everybody. Listen, this is Tonya TKO and sister coming in. And we're talking about white women and the black men who love them. So let's see. Can a white man or woman really empathize with and support their black partner when they experience racism? I don't, it really depends on how much work this white person has done. Leela Skywalker say, do black men really relate to black women for their womanly experience and revere us in the face of racism and colorism and featureism? You already know the answer to that one. And Summers is saying, why do we care so much about black males? Summer, if you are a black woman, you will give birth to children with the genetic coding, with Negroid genetic coding. So you can say whatever it is that you want, but you watch and see what comes out of your vagina. Okay? Sorry. And somebody said earlier, I caught the comment, but I didn't get a chance to respond to it. And they were saying that black women are good for the come up. But once they get up there, after, because like, you know what, it's like they'll talk about struggle love and wanting you to struggle with them, and then you get all masculinized from the struggle.
You get hardened.
Exactly, you get hardened from being in the struggle. And then once you're all hard and burly and you got the calluses all over your hands and everything, then all of a sudden they're like, why aren't your hands soft like the white or Asian woman? Why you think my hands no soft? You know what I'm saying? So listen, everybody who's on this broadcast, we got 2 minutes left. So let's do our closing now, and then we're going to get off of the broadcast. Thank you all for coming out. Ask your final questions now as the broadcast is coming to an end. Timescape is saying black men who date outside the race are usually the most successful. That's true. It's true.
If you count just money having success, because self-love is also, if you have a good self-worth and
I think they're talking about just financial success. Oh, just
financial success. Okay.
Yeah, the most financially successful. Yeah. And Traveling is saying, I received so much hate from black males when I was with my ex who was white. Yeah, because you know what? There's something cattywampus going on inside the minds of some people. And so with black men, they're like, oh, it's so bizarre. They're like, oh, I'm going to show the white man I can get his woman, right? I'm going to show the white man I can get his woman. But then they leave a black woman there single, but then they don't want you to be with a white man. Like, so far too many of them are like, no, the black woman should not be. But then secretly in their hearts, they want to use the black woman for the struggle, leave her there in the ghetto with his children, and then go level up to the fresh and clean. To the fresh and clean white woman with no calluses on her hands, but bruises on her knees.
I'm done.
I'm not even gonna say nothing. All right, so listen, everybody, we're getting out of here at the top of the hour, and somebody is saying, "You fake gal, you fake." Come say that to my face, Naman. You fake. All right, so listen, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much for coming out. Make sure that you leave your comments below. Everybody who's on this broadcast right now, hit a thumbs up and hit the like. I only see 33 likes right now, so make sure that, listen, there's 240 people on the broadcast. I want to see 240 likes. Make sure that you comment. If you're seeing this after the live broadcast, we love you too. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And I will see you in the comments. I'm about to jump over there right now. I'm going to be making a video about Nicki Minaj and her new lover. Listen, 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 listen. Leave your topic suggestions. Make sure that you send them over to me. We're at the top of the hour and we're going to go. See you later, everybody. Love you, love you, love you.